What's going on, guys? Today's question is, does it make sense to buy a Tesla to save money on gas? The short answer is no, right? You can click off now if you don't want to watch this video because I give you my answer. But if you want to hear my explanation of why I think it's not necessary to have a Tesla to save money on gas, then feel free to stick on. All right, what's going on, guys? So the reason why is because if you have a car that's fully paid off, right? Say you have a Corolla, you have a Lexus, you have whatever car, it's fully paid off. And say you're driving that Lexus, and just hypothetically, say it's $100 to fill full tank, right? Gas is really expensive, so it's $400 a month if you fill up like once a week for 4 weeks, right? $400, very expensive, but you choose that, hey, I want to grab an electric car, it wouldn't make sense, right? Because one, Teslas are very, very expensive now. In a sense where that most Teslas are around like 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, all the way up to 150 for a Model X. That's if you have like a Plaid, right? Which is crazy. But if you can afford it, it's LV. So it won't make sense for you to basically go into debt to have a Model Y, a Model 3, Model X, Model S, whatever it may be, because that car payment will be around $600 on top of your increased electricity bill, on top of the more expensive insurance that a lot of Teslas do have to kind of go for, right? That's one thing too. Tesla insurance for Tesla is a lot more expensive than like a used car that you're already driving, like that's been around for a while, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind, right? If you got it like that and you're able to kind of afford a new car, pay it outright in cash for that Tesla, then go ahead. But if you are going to go into debt for that car, don't do it. It's completely not worth it, right? For me, my Model Y Performance, I charge it at a charge point charger as well as at work, right? So what does that mean, right? So there are some offices that you can go into and you'll have access to the charger. Some offices it's free, some offices it costs, right? So at the charge point chargers at work, a lot of them are subsidized. And then the one I charge where I currently live, like nearby where I live, it is a subsidized charger as well. So it's about 18 cents per kilowatt hour. And what happens is that when it's 18 cents per kilowatt hour, for me to go from 10% to about 100% is around $12, right? Pretty cheap. A lot of times too is though, if you have an office charger, a lot of times those chargers are free and those are put on by the tenants or who own those buildings where you're charging. So they'll give you free charging, right? So those are great. You go into your office, wherever you may be working, you stay there for that 8-9 hours, and then after you do that, you're free to go because your car charged for you. You charge for free because the building or your landlord, whoever it may be, is paying for the electricity for you guys, so you don't have to worry about that whole price of charging, right? Or what I do too is I go to the mall, and at the mall, there's a lot of Volta chargers. Shout out to Volta. And those Volta chargers, they'll charge your car for free as well. I think the way they work is they have advertising on it, but there's like screens to advertising. You get to charge there. The voltage isn't as fast though, because whenever I charge at a charge point charger, I think I get around 30 miles per hour. At the Voltas, it's like a 2-hour limit, and you get around 15 to 20 miles per hour. So a little slower, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. But that's free charging as well. So yeah, what I was trying to say is, it does not make sense to kind of go in debt for a new charger for a Tesla just to save money on your gas. For my Tesla, I have been seeing as well, one plug is that there are a lot of destination chargers or charge points that are kind of like associated with a rest stop. If you go into the ChargePoint app, you'll see that there are a couple chargers that say free or 0 cents per kilowatt hour. That means that is a charger where you can charge anytime you want for free. So if you just go into the charger, you kind of park your car, you can charge it for free. overnight, and that's like kind of unlimited charging. A lot of times too, though, yeah, keep in mind is when you do go to those places, you'll see that even though it's free, there'll be a ton of other cars like a Chevy Bolt, like other EV cars that are also parked there, and they're basically parked there because they're getting free charge, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. Those destination chargers are great hacks in order for you to get free charging, but there will be several other cars parked there getting that charging as well. So just kind of keep that in mind. When it comes to payments for a lot of these cars, is that for a Model 3, because they're around 50,000, 40,000 now, you'll be paying around $750 a month. For Model Y, it's like $1,000 a month just for that car, for to be able to drive that. And that payment you're seeing for your gas for that $400 looks a lot smaller now if you're compared to paying around $700 for Model 3, Model Y, Model S, Model X, right? So keep that in mind, is that if you can pay it outright, like cash, whatever it may be, and you have a car already, like maybe it's not the best idea to buy a Tesla, right? But if you can afford it, go ahead, go do it. But my honest opinion is don't buy a new Tesla just to go save money on gas, because you're gonna put yourself in debt. And that's coming from someone who has Teslas, had multiple Teslas, right? So kind of keep that in mind. So another thing too to keep in mind with charging is that when you charge your car at home, your electricity bill will go up. So most utility companies, when you charge your car, will kind of charge you that normal charge rate. But what they'll do is from around like 12 to 6 a.m., so 12 a.m., 6 a.m., 12 to 8 a.m., that's when there's like a discounted rate. So what you do is if you do decide to go with the option or the route of buying a Tesla, what you'll do is you call your utility company and tell them, hey, whatever it may be, utility company, I have an electric car, I have a Tesla, whatever car you may have, I would like to charge my car. Do you guys offer discounted rates? And what they'll do is they'll give you the time frame of when they charge your car, or when you can charge your car for a discounted rate, and they'll activate that in your account, right? So if you want cheaper charging, what you'll do is you'll basically do what I told you with the utility companies, and you'll go on your Tesla app, and then you'll set charging for 12 a.m. so that way your car starts charging at that time. By charging your car at that time, you get build a cheaper rate for your charging, and that way you're not kind of increasing your electricity bill unnecessarily high for any specific reason. So keep that in mind when you guys are charging your car, when you choose to purchase an EV, is that you have optimized charging times at nighttime via your utility provider. So just kind of keep that in mind whenever you do that, right? Also, another expense you may not realize is that when you buy a Tesla, is that you need to set up charging within your home, right? They'll give you like some rinky-dink charger adapter where it charges basically into the wall, and it charges like 4 miles an hour. And if you realistically want to use your car daily and you drive pretty far every day, it does not make sense to do that, right? So what you'll need to end up doing is that you'll need to end up buying another adapter for the Tesla, which is around like a couple of $50. But then what you're also going to be charged is that you're going to have like a certified like electrician come into your house and install like a NEMA outlet, or even if you choose to buy that Tesla charger, like that big charger for Tesla, that Tesla wall charger, and that will cost you around, like, if you buy a Tesla wall charger, I think it's around $500. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for installation, it can be $750 to $1,000, right? So that's another $1,500 expense that you're not expecting to incur by installing a charger, right? So just kind of keep that in mind, is that there are going to be other expenses associated with you charging your car or charging your Tesla, and that involves like the insurance, the setting up of a charger within your house, the increased electricity bill, as well as basically that monthly payment for your car if you choose to get a loan or finance the car. So with that being said, is it worth it to buy a Tesla to save money in gas? No, because of all these other expenses that you don't see going forward. So I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Angelo Carlos here, your favorite Tesla YouTuber. See you guys. Peace.